Okay, we are getting ready to head into the Shenandoahs. So good morning, everybody. We're back on trail. This is Waynesboro. When you're coming off the trail over there, there is a sign on the fence that gives you a list of trail angels that will come and pick you up for free. And then there's also a list of those who will do farther shuttles other than Waynesboro for a small fee. But this gentleman who picked us up and set it up to bring us back, and the other couple brought them back. He's so sweet. Such a nice gentleman. And him and his wife, I mean, he's been doing this, driving hikers, since 2003. So he's been doing this for 23 years, picking up hikers from Waynesboro, from this to bring them into Waynesboro. He shows you where everything is in Waynesboro on your way in, and so really, really kind people. His name is Northman? Northman. So yeah, very, very kind. And even when he was dropping us off here, he's dropping the other couple off somewhere else. And there was a hiker here, and he's like, "Do you need a ride into town? Are you okay?" So he's very, very kind to the hikers. So our stay was good. It was a very busy zero with getting our box, having to wash our clothes in the sink, and trying to dry our tent, trying to dry all our stuff. But we did really enjoy it, and that was a great meal. It was a great place to stay. It was the Quality Inn and Econo Lodge. Our room was really clean. Their room was really clean. So I know some of the reviews are mixed, but we didn't see any problems with that place. Good price. The breakfast was good. The breakfast was good. Everything there, even where the breakfast was very clean. Lots of it, and it was a good price. So I would definitely consider staying there if you're coming into Waynesboro. And it's right close to everything. We walked to the Ming's restaurant and walked to the post office. Walmart's right across from there. Kroger's is right close. There's other fast food line. There's other fast food places really close. I think everything you would need would be pretty close to that hotel. But anyway, so we are on trail and we're gonna get moving. Okay, so it's still as usual. We've got to climb when we're leaving town, but this one isn't that drastic, like not that steep. It's the trail is still, like, water's not going to be an issue today. These aren't water sources, but they're water sources. And but yeah, so we're still leaving town with climbs. It's just not as steep, but it is a pretty long climb. But so we got heavy packs, but not as heavy as I was expecting for how much food we have. So we must have a lot of lighter stuff. And we packed out fresh food for today. Like I have a turkey and avocado wrap that I made in the hotel room, and I have 1.5 cucumber sandwiches and some actual just sliced cucumber, some cherries, some cantaloupe. And so that's my food for today. So that also weighs a little bit, but we had the food in the room, and so we wanted to get the most value out of it, and I wanted to have one more day with actual fresh food. Faith has some sandwiches and wraps and fruit also. But I also want to talk. So we were talking to Sammy Sr. Yesterday, and Faith and I had been talking about this, but just wanted to chat with Sammy's parents for Sammy's backpacks, get their opinion on an idea that Faith and I had, which I don't know why it didn't come to us sooner. We're out here backpacking, and so at the time when Sammy was murdered, he was attending Sioux College. He was in the social work program at Sioux College. But Sioux College has a lot of outdoor programs. I know they have for sure a natural environment. My daughter was in that one. They were out camping and kayaking and all kinds of stuff. They have outdoor rec that does everything. I think the outdoor rec, that's Kyla took that, right?
Yeah.
And they do ice climbing, rock climbing, backpacking, everything you could think of for outdoor recreation, they do. And then there's fish and wildlife. All these programs need the same type of outdoor equipment that we're using on this hike. And so we talked to Sam Sr. about it to see if Sammy's backpacks could go in that direction as one of its little legs. Like it's doing Sammy, his public school was the first school to get the backpacks that first year because that was his public school. So it's actually it would be nice to donate some stuff to Sioux College since that's where he was going when he died. So Faith did up a letter and is reaching out to all the companies that are gear that we're using right now, gear we have at home, gear we've looked at, and just to see, because it could be anything, big, small, everything will help these students put together some good quality gear and the things that they need for their programs. And then Sammy's backpacks, we would just help collect it, and Sammy's backpacks would donate it to the school. So, and just reminding anybody, if you're watching this and you live in the States, we have a U.S. post office box that I had to set up. We're in a border town, so it was easier for us to set up that post office box to ship out our resupply boxes and send stuff home when we needed to. So we have that, and we'll keep that if this is something that any of our U.S. businesses or subscribers or anybody who just lands on Sammy's backpack page, however you get there, and you want to donate a backpack either for the public school students, high school students, or if you want to donate backpacking equipment. It could be something as small as a spork, or the food bags. Like Hilltop, we've got the Hilltop food bags are really common out here. We reached out to Frog Tog. We reached out, actually, we're going to reach out to the company that makes like Deep Woods Off. We live in the north. There's a lot of flies and stuff up there, and black flies and mosquitoes, and so any little thing that can help these guys out as they're starting their education at that college and outdoor programs would be appreciated. So just keep that in mind, and we're going to start. And then that's something that Faith and I, even once we get back from our hike, we'll keep pushing and reaching out more and seeing if we could put together stuff, and even if it was a discount, and we managed to get some money.
Anything that got opened and was sent back, or
something that had been open, sent back, or had a repair but is like new, that kind of thing. Somebody might need that. So if there was some kind of items and you have an outfitter and you got some stuff that didn't move, but that could be useful to these kids, just send them our way. But anyway, so we'll keep talking a little bit more about that. And if you just reach out, we'll give you the post office box if it's something that you want to send to the U.S. Or we can get you the address for Bridget and Sam in Sault Ste. Marie to send it directly to them. Or if you live in Sault Ste. Marie area or are going to the Sault Ste. Marie area, you can just reach out to Bridget and Sam and drop it off. But anyway, so very much appreciated if any of the companies out there or outfitters think of anything that they could donate. We would be so grateful and so happy to show up at Sioux College with something to donate to these outdoor programs. I forgot about this spot. I've seen it on lots of videos. There are these little seats just in the middle of the trail, and then a big satellite station thing here. It's such a weird thing just to come out of the trail and see these little seats here. So cool. Oh, there's a nice little AT symbol there. So this is the summit of Little Calf Mountain. Oh, there we go over there. There's a little nice little view here. I know in the Shenandoahs, we're gonna come out to some roads and have some beautiful views. And I know a lot of people, when they're doing the AT and they're going through the Shenandoahs, they sometimes take the road that kind of walks parallel to the trail because the road has better views. I don't think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna stick, hey Faith, we're just gonna stick with the white blazes on the trail. And yeah, the road isn't gonna be fun, I don't think. It might have some beautiful views.
My ankles, I don't know, they're pavement.
Yeah, pavement is hard on your body, hard on your joints. And then you have to make sure that you're on the trail because there's no water on the road, it's only on the trail. So I think we'll stick with the white blazes and on the trail and just follow it that way. I mean, that's why they say, like, everybody hike your own hike. I know lots of people that do the road and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like taking the blue blaze, right? But for us going through the Shenandoahs, we're just going to stick to the trail. But yeah, so far it's a decent day. Today was supposed to be a rainy day. And then now the weather says it's not going to rain. We don't necessarily trust the weather anymore, though. It's always wrong. It's always the opposite stuff.
If it's calling for rain, then it's going to rain.
Yeah, if it's calling for rain, then it's going to rain. Yeah. But when they say it's not going to rain, it seems to still rain. Yeah. So especially maybe up here in the mountains, that might be why. But anyway, but so far no rain jackets. And our shoes were still kind of wet. But the sun is supposed to be coming out tomorrow. So anytime that we take our breaks, we're going to take our shoes off and put them out in the sun and make sure our feet stay better because they were just starting to kind of look better-ish when we left. But
Everyone said the same thing. People who have never had blisters the whole trail got their first blisters through that.
yeah, I don't know if you could hear Faith, but she said that people were saying that some that have never gotten any blisters through the entire trail got blisters through this.
With me, I don't normally get blisters, and I had a bunch.
Yeah, Faith had a bunch of blisters under her toes. I do get a lot of blisters, but haven't been for a while, but they were starting again, and especially underneath the toes. My toes were pretty swollen and red looking. A couple of face toes were really swollen and funny looking. And everybody was saying the same thing, like their feet normally don't smell that bad, and it smelled rotten in their tents and stuff. So everybody was struggling with the same things. And so that hotel, there was a lot of hikers in that hotel trying to dry everything out and get themselves prepped to get back on trail and hit the Shenandoahs, which we are finally here. Yay! So Faith and I are really going to try. I'm just praying my back. One thing with my back is we were noticing the steeper, longer climbs were triggering it to start to get bad, and then it kind of just would progress from there. And I think it's the way that I round my back when I'm doing the steep climbs. So these climbs in the Shenandoahs don't look too bad. What? They're short. They're not like what we were just doing. Yeah, there's lots of them, but they're short, so I don't stay in that position for too long and start to irritate it. So if I could get it to stay calm for a little bit and then let the anti-inflammatories do their work and really settle in, maybe I got a chance of going back to where I only have to use it a little bit at the TENS machine at the end of the day. And we're trying to do longer stretches with less breaks. And then just like this right now, we've got maybe a mile and a half or something until the shelter. About a mile. And then we're going to have our first real break, and we're going to have a 30-minute break, take our shoes off. But we stopped twice for each of us just to have a quick pee, got our packs back on, and got moving again. I'm trying to move with a little bit more intention, especially when I'm going downhill, because I was always scared of the downhill. But now I'm just letting gravity take me to try to pick up our paces a bit and try to gain some ground in this next little 1,000 miles before we hit the whites. So say a little prayer for us, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. This shelter is 0.3 off. We were going to go up there, but There's a couple of water sources coming up in like 0.6 and 1.5, something like that. So we're just going to get that. I still have a full liter. Faith has probably 3/4 of a liter. So we're just sitting here and going to have our lunch. I took my socks and shoes off. Everything is still wet, so I'm going to air out my feet. We have fresh food for today. So I've got like avocado turkey wrap, some cucumber sandwiches, and some sliced cucumbers, some cherries, and some melon. So I'm pretty excited for the food for today. And what are you eating, Faith? Cherries and wraps. So this is heavier stuff, but it's going to be gone by the end of the day. and it's needed.
Probably a pound.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I did, like, first I was like, maybe I shouldn't have taken 2 full liters, but we had bought new water bottles. It was there. I'm like, I'm not going to dump water. And I'm glad I did, because now I don't have to go up this 0.3 or 0.2. I think it's 0.2 to get to the spring. You don't have to go all the way to the shelter for it. So now I can just...
Not up. I did see it was a flat.
Yeah, and we know, like, on our way here, there was several water sources right on the trail that weren't marked water sources, but with all the rain we've had for a week, it was no doubt that we had that kind of water sources. So, but yeah, so we're going to have something to eat. We're trying to be more efficient with our breaks too, so we're having a half-hour lunch break. How many miles did we do so far? 7.6, and it's 11:30. It's 11:30, and we've done 7.6. We're going to take a 30-minute break, and then I think that we're going to try to have our breaks, like 2 30-minute breaks in a day.
We'll probably go another 8 miles.
Yeah, so we'll probably go another 8 miles and stop again. And then and today, like, we'll just probably be eating our fresh stuff, and we have tons of snack food type things that we can eat quickly. So we'll try to push some miles today if we can, as long as barring nobody takes a big tumble, yeah, or I can't stand up or whatever. But we're just gonna think positive and push as far as we can, and fingers crossed I will let you know how far we make it. Good afternoon. So we got our water. We're walking alongside of some water for a bit, but there probably isn't going to be any more water unless it's a surprise one between here and the next shelter, which is 12 miles, Faith? So it's 12 miles. So that's what we're going to be pushing for. We have our backpacks. Our food bags are filled to the rim, like they can't even close. And we had our food for the day in our mesh. So our next box is 140 miles. It's at Bears Den Hostel at mile 1006. So even though it didn't work out that great for us when we were trying this and heading to Waynesboro, when we were heading to Waynesboro, it didn't turn out. We're giving this a try again, and this time it should have absolutely no problems working. To where, yeah, there's waysides in the Shenandoahs. There's waysides, camp stores. We'll probably be able to charge up. There's a camp store in about 56 miles that even has like some backpacker meals and stuff at one of the campgrounds. And so we'll top up our battery packs and top up our snacks and push through to Bears Den Hostel, which will be over 1,000 miles. Oh, I'm so excited. So there's no reason why it can't work this time. We're giving it another shot for another long stretch of not going into resupply anywhere and just staying on trail for 140 miles. And it's obviously going to be a lot easier to do in the Shenandoahs. So it's a perfect opportunity to try it. And so now today we just got to try and get to this next shelter. And that would give us a 20-mile day, Faith? 20-point-something mile. And we didn't get on trail till 8 o'clock, a little after 8. So we'll be happy if we get there. I don't care if we get there at 7:30. Doesn't matter to me. We ate a huge lunch there, and I have protein bars and my protein and greens drink that I could have real quick, just to have something fast, even when we take our next 30-minute break. And then that should tide us over, get to the shelter, set up, go to bed, I'm good with that. So fingers crossed that we both feel well and nothing goes wrong and we pull off our second 20-mile day.
It said no rain, but I keep hearing thunder and that sky doesn't look very nice.
We just had to cross the road where we crossed that Blue Ridge Drive. This is like the coolest vehicle I've ever seen. This is like a really beautiful view for us. And we're like, oh, that would haul a horse trailer no problem. Oh, could you imagine pulling up to a horse show on that? That would be amazing. Yeah, so this is Faith. Instead of looking at the view, Faith is looking at this view. Yeah. And then back to the best view. Is it called Adventure Truck XT? Okay, we're in a little bit of a green tunnel. The rain is stopped, but there's still a lot of wet coming down. That was kind of crazy. We had ankle deep water in the middle of the trail, and it wasn't calling for any rain. That was wild. Lots of thunder. And then when we came out of it, there was a girl. She had hiked in 2024, and she was here doing some trail magic for her friend, packing her. But she had trail magic for everybody too. She had lots of Gatorades and some LMNT and some snacks if you wanted them, and took any garbage. And yeah, so it was really nice coming out of that storm to having a bit of trail magic. And then now we're just gonna try to push to that shelter. I'm not sure how many miles we have left. Probably 7.5-ish. Yeah, maybe 7.5 to somewhere between 7.5 and 8. Because when we stopped for that, it was 8.6. So, and we've gone a little while. It might be 7 now. So, but yeah. So this is a really nice little green tunnel. So hopefully in that shelter. So we are going to try to sleep in the shelter, and it's supposed to be, I think, a double-decker Yeah, most of these shelters in Shenandoah are a little bit bigger. There's probably not going to be too many that are just the 6 ones like what we were seeing when we were shelter hopping in the rain. So hopefully there'll be room for us when we get there. But anyway, so thankfully, so far right now there is a chance that this could, we're under thunderstorm risk till I think 9 o'clock. So it could come back, but for now we've got a little bit of a break. Okay. Since we last talked, we did have another spell of complete and total downpour and thunder. I knew it was coming. I could tell. So we had stopped and had a protein bar and some meat sticks, and I switched my bottle over and we had to pee. Did all that just in time. And then we just started hiking again, and it just went, the sky just opened up. So it's about 5:30 and we have 3 miles left to the shelter. The shelter's 0.2 off, but I think all the shelters in Shenandoah are a little bit off the trail. And since the weather has been very unpredictable all day and pretty rough all day, we are going to make sure that we go in, even if it is 0.2 off. It's the safest thing to do. But my back held out to around mile 16, so that was pretty good. I probably, to be comfortable, should have put on a little bit before that, but I was holding off because I'm scared of the rain. Even if I try to protect the machine, was still scared that it could get wet and not work right, and then that wouldn't be good for me. So I held off as long as I could, waited till the rain mostly stopped, and then I put it on. But yeah, Faith and I, she's just got the music playing so that we could both hear it. Just trying to keep ourselves occupied to try to get our 20-mile day. And so we're almost there. Should be there by 7, depending on the train, between 7 and 7:30. So we didn't start till after 8. So I'll definitely take that for a 20-mile day. And so I'll try and take a screenshot. I remember to take a screenshot of the far out that'll show the elevation. I was pretty sure when I looked at it, yeah, it was around 45 of ascent and descent pretty much. So they were pretty close to the same. So it's not like it was flat, but it wasn't, except for the beginning, there wasn't really any long ups. Or too steep up. So so I'll take this day, other than the rain and the thunder was like, but that wasn't supposed to be happening. But that's how the weather has been going. So, but anyway, if we get to the shelter and it seems appropriate to take a video, I'll show you what it looks like. I think it's supposed to be a stone shelter, so it might be pretty cool.
Hello. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi. Can I walk closer? You okay? Say, no, I'm not. It is you?
Are you gonna come and hang out with us? You gonna come hang out with us?
You're just little.
Come on. Let's go to camp. Okay, it's 7:30. We're in our tent at the shelter. were a mess. We did 20.6 plus a 0.2 down to the shelter. And we didn't start till I think just after 8. So it's not too bad for the day. We're pretty whipped. The last mile and a half was pretty rough. But we did it. Yeah, for me, Faith was fine. I was sleepy. Faith was sleepy. I was crawling. Yeah. But so but I'm pretty happy. This is our longest day.
I don't know.
It was 20.1 when we got into Woods Hole, I thought. Yeah.
Not including the walk down.
Oh, not including the walk down there. So it was 20.6. So still, and then we did 20.6 plus 2, so 20.8, yeah. Yep, so we are going to get ourselves set up and get ready for bed and do it all again tomorrow. See you tomorrow.